I'm sure you guys might ask me, we've been here before with Tottenham in relation to there being some mentality issues both inside and outside of the football club. And I think that will dominate more of the headlines for Tottenham rather than the game itself and even the noise before the game.
You've touched upon it there. Ange Postecoglou said the last couple of days have told him the foundations are fragile at the club. What did you make of that? What did you think that was in relation to?
Well, look, guys, it's not the first time we've been here. You know, like I say, we've had Jose Mourinho, we've had Antonio Conte. We're now having, of course, Ange Postecoglou talk about the mentality in and around the football club, inside and outside. And that comes from the very, very top. It is systemic, I think, for many fans that have listened and watched Last Word on Spurs and go to games week in, week out. I think we can't get away from the fact that there is a mentality problem at Spurs and it comes right from the very, very top. I think, look, for a club that hasn't won for so long, it's really, really hard to then come in and try and change that overnight. I think in regards to Ange's comments, I think it's really important because the nature of it is that some could be seen it could be digging out the fans. I think that was a really, really unique one-off night, which he'll never be in that situation again. As fans, I say, I hope we'll never be in that situation again. But I think his comments was more around the fact that, look, the man is a winner. He wants to win. And I don't think he's ever been in that situation where, look, he wants to challenge himself against the best. He's had many obstacles in terms of his career to overcome. He's made it to the Premier League. He's made it to a big club like Tottenham Hotspur. Yes, they are a big football club. And he wants to win. And he wants to make Tottenham Hotspur winners. And I think there was maybe a misalignment with relation to just how many Spurs fans went into that game last night with the genuine concern that they could give Arsenal the advantage of handing them a title for the first time in 20 years. And as a fan, I felt we were really, really conflicted on the night. And look, I think for many out there, I don't want to speak for everyone, but I think that was for many the perfect outcome last night. We gave it everything we got. City are a top team. They're an absolute machine. But as I said, I think his comments after the game will dominate a lot more than the game itself because it goes back to what a lot of Spurs fans feel on a week-to-week basis, that there is a mentality issue and one manager's got to come in and resolve this now because we're on our sixth manager here that today has not lasted any longer than just a season, and we're already coming to that point where we're coming to the summer. Is he going to be ultimately backed by the board? Is he going to get what he needs in order to take Tottenham Hotspur forward? He's made it clear, like predecessors before him, there's a rebuild that needs to take place and he needs to be significantly back because we can't be chopping and changing managers every single week. I can't get away from it. I've expressed my concerns around the form at times and in around our nature of defending set pieces. But ultimately, there are bigger things at Tottenham that need to be addressed. And I sincerely hope Ange is the man to help change that mentality around the football club because that is what needs changing more than anything.
Absolutely. We saw a moment last night where it seemed like Ange maybe getting it frustrated with a supporter. We're just looking at it right now. What did he make of that? And how do you think his relationship is with fans, Spurs fans, at this moment in time?
Well, as I've said, I think, look, Ange is a winner. He wants to win. I know certain other clubs might mock me for saying that in terms of what he's won and where he's won. But ultimately, look, that man goes into every single game and wants to win. And I don't think you can understand the notion of, at any point, there being any uncertainty about going to win a game. But as I've said, I think last night was a very unique situation, given the circumstances that if Spurs had got a point and won the game, the consequences that would have had in terms of what it would have meant for Arsenal would have been beyond belief and thinking. So I think in relation to his comments, I would urge supporters who feel the need to want to listen to this, that ultimately look at the bigger picture. He's a man that wants to win. His DNA is winning. And I think he'll look back and maybe be a little bit, I think, disappointed after the event that he went as strong in terms of his comments. But I think, again, what he's got to understand is that as fans, we've seen us go and lose to Newcastle, to Chelsea, to Fulham, to Liverpool, and the way we've done it. I think that's really hard to take. And also the fact that he's been playing down, finishing the top four for most of the season. And then it felt like a little bit of a dig where he suggested that, as fans, why was there that uncomfortable feeling within the stadium? Ultimately, look, as Spurs fans, we all want to win. And I keep on re-emphasising it. Last night was a really, really one-off situation that we should never be putting again. And out of this, I just want Ange to be backed by the football club, backed by the ball. Because at some point, Tottenham have to stick by a manager, don't deviate away from the script, and give the man what he needs in order to succeed. And Spurs are there yet again, where we've got a manager questioning the mentality around the football club. And Spurs at some point have got to back a manager. And I sincerely hope Ange is the man. I think, look, from the way he speaks to the way he carries himself, he embodies everything that I like in terms of a manager of my football club. But at the end of the day, as we all know, it's going to be down to Daniel Levy, the board at Tottenham, as to whether they give Ange Postecoglou the tools necessary in order to be successful. Because wherever he's been, he has achieved success. So I sincerely hope he does get that back in and is allowed to basically rejuvenate the squad in the areas that he feels necessary to do so, and give the fans ultimately what we all want, is that we're craving for trophies, we're craving for success. And when we see with Tottenham at the first point where there's a bit of a crisis, as fans we do get panicked, we do get concerned. We've not won a trophy for such a long time, and as fans we've come to a point now we need to stick by someone, give them the time, give them the rebuild. And I can only emphasise that point again. I really hope Ange is the man to do that.
Just one final point then, Ricky. Does it go too far when Tottenham fans are doing the Poznan last night for that Man City celebration?
You know what, guys, I don't think it's my right to tell fans what they can and can't do. Look, I'm a supporter as well, and we've all got different feelings about how we feel in relation to maybe Arsenal going on to win a league. All I would say from my perspective is that I felt really uncomfortable about the amount of noise before the game in relation to how Spurs are going to approach it and the integrity. I think all I can say, just to leave it on this point, is that I was really, really proud of the effort, the application, the desire of those players. They left absolutely everything out on the pitch. I think the good thing that we saw out of last night was that it appeared Ange can tweak. He does seem to have a plan B. I think we saw that last night, that's been questioned a lot by fans. Can he change it up? Spurs managed to press City and also looked fairly solid defensively up until, of course, the second half. So that'll be the main takeaways for me. And I just urge every Spurs fan, look, at some point we need to get behind the manager. And at some point also the board need to get behind the manager and back them and help change this mentality at the football club. Because if they don't, that finger's going to point more and more at the board with relation to something needing to change.